responsibilities of children and of a family, and and to bring that into this sport, it can be tough because, like I say
Oh,
again, you lose friends because family members and friends don't understand what you get involved in. This bodybuilding is not
yeah,
like any other mainstream sport, like football, basketball, even boxing.
yeah,
I've done interviews with ladies in combat sports who also were mothers who fight for a living, and
yeah.
people don't understand that because it's something very different from them. We got some people here coming through. This is my brother, my man KL the Wanderer. Shout out to KL. He also does content on women in the sport of bodybuilding. He says,
Hey.
"Hey, what's going on, brother? Hey, what's going on with you?" Also, KL says this: says she has the actress look for a marriage counselor. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
yeah. Kind of, I try to think maybe a little bit of a Sigourney Weaver kind of you know, what's that actress? I know it's that's there's really great actress in the back of my head. I know, but here, also he says this. He says, uh, does she do natural bodybuilding? She looks natural. So you were before. You
Right.
were in the UNBA, which is the United Natural Bodybuilder Association.
Mhm.
You did that. How
Right.
long you were doing that? Are you still in it, or you now focus more now on
So
NPC?
yeah, so I both of the years that I competed, 2022 and 2023, I did both UNBA and NPC. Their posing styles are slightly different when it comes to figure, but for physique, they were both the same. And I was by the book natural up until, and I was going to compete in 2024, and we'll probably talk a little bit about what happened in 2024. But halfway through prep, about 10 weeks into prep, I had this incredible edema situation come on where my legs swelled and I lost all my shreds, and it was like very concerning. We thought maybe I had a blood clot. And in the end, it was a combination of factors of some kidney stuff and electrolyte imbalances, and I learned a lot there too. And at some point, if anybody wants to talk about the nuts and bolts of that, I'm happy to do that. But so I ended up getting pulled off prep because my coach is the kind of coach that's like, it's the athlete first. And yes, we love having a big team that's going up on stage, and we love getting all the wins. Team 3D does not compete unless coach thinks that we can win. And under the circumstances, health had to come first. So we pulled out. I was going to do UNBA that year as well as NPC and the Masters National. But part of the silver lining of that was learning that my testosterone was a single digit number. And so now I am on hormone replacement therapy because it's medically recommended for me. And it does bring up for me and other natural competitors who are masters level this conundrum that I think the sport really needs to look at. And I probably will start trying to make some inroads to advocate for this. But there are a lot of us who are in our 40s and 50s and older, probably, who are on hormone replacement therapy because it is medically recommended. But by the rules of any natural federation, we are not allowed to compete because they're considering that an enhancement. But it's not an enhancement. Like, we're not taking testosterone to get jacked. We're taking testosterone or estrogen or progesterone because our bodies are naturally depleted in that because we are perimenopausal or menopausal. And so there's this gap. Like Fit Model division just came in because they felt like there was a gap. A lot of divisions have been formed because they felt like there was a gap. I'm calling for there to be a place to acknowledge non-anabolic, non-PED using bodybuilders of the masters level who do need to have hormone replacement therapy because it's medically recommended, and to not consider that an enhancement when it's within levels, right? Like, so if your doctor does your blood and says, dude, your testosterone is 7, and then recommends a protocol, you go to a hormone replacement therapy clinic, they provide that protocol, and within 2 weeks your brain is functioning better, within 2 weeks your sleep is better, within 2 weeks you feel like you have more, like, overall, like, a smoothness of your life force energy throughout the day, you're more productive, like, all of the impacts that come from low testosterone are resolved. That's just bringing us up to level. So I'm a little feisty about this one because I would love to continue to compete in natural federations, but by the book, they won't let me, even though I'm not on PEDs and I'm not on anabolics, and nothing about my body as it is now, 2 months, 3 months into HRT, would suggest that I'm an enhanced athlete.
And so that's the thing with always people when you think about bodybuilding, it's the big thing is steroids. They're always going to equate it with steroids because it's
Right.
so easy. Because here's the thing I've learned: steroids is only a small factor of your growth. You have to follow your diet, your routine. You have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined. The steroids just help for like recovery. You're doing injuries, and like I said, people don't think women have y'all men and women we share some biological similarities. We do have testosterone, like we have estrogen, and you need that testosterone hit you to push that extra more. Especially when you get older, your body changes. It's not like when you're in your
Right.
20s, your 30s, where your body's still developing, growing, but then you're going to decline. It takes a lot longer to lose weight because right now I am, like I said, I'm 50, and it was a few years ago I was almost 500 pounds.
Mm.
And then after my mom passed, I took care of her for a long time, and she passed. I said, you know what, it's time for me to take care of myself. I went to my doctor's office. I gained a little weight because of the holidays like that, and plus I'm not exercising much like I used to because I got issues with my knees. And I gained about maybe 7 pounds back, but not
Mhm.
much because I was thinking about it. I was almost 500,
Mm.
and that's the thing about this that women's bodies are different compared to men.
Mhm.
And y'all do mystery, y'all do because y'all bear children.
Right.
We don't.
Right.
We just this one just jump on top of you and just and then it's over. But there's so many biological difference between men and women, and I think maybe the organization will see that. But the thing is, always going to be steroids, and not all steroids is used for bulking and building. People who are on cancer use steroids.
Mhm.
Steroids are in birth control,
Mhm.
inhalers. It's just different forms of it. Here we
Yeah.
got some comments here. We got here my man. Got to talk with him. He's a fan. My man Balls Deep coming through. He says, "What's up, and salute? What's up, salute to your brother." Also, he says, "Good afternoon, gorgeous." He's a fan. Also, his another Monica, Chicago in here. Thank you, brother. Welcome. Says. Also, he says, "Smash that like button." And one more, his favorite says, "Schmo gang, 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 gang." I'm part of that gang. I know that. So, thank you, Ballsy, my brother. And yeah, this is a process of the work you got to put into. And I know it's tough, that especially as an aspect as a woman to
Yeah.
build muscle, and especially
Oh
trying to
yeah.
be natural. Because I know NPC is trying to go the natural route, but if you're taking certain these things helping with your going premenstrual stuff like that, that does hurt you. But you know what? Maybe it's an open door for opportunities for you to go, farther in your career as a bodybuilder.
Yeah. I mean, I'm at peace with the fact that I am not. I don't meet criteria to compete in a natural federation because I'm on medically recommended hormone replacement therapy. I'm totally at peace with that because the longevity of my life takes priority over any kind of win, right? I mean, it is my goal to compete this year, 2025, in the Masters National Show, and to hopefully earn that pro card. Having an extra long off season at this point because my prep was only 10 weeks long, so kind of what we got to kind of like pare down from last off season and see what we built, and we were really happy with what we were seeing, and so to go right back into off season and be growing from there, which was September of last year until July of 2025, is a great off season. And so we're really hoping to put on some size. I think my dancer background is a huge plus for me when it comes to posing. Also have an amazing posing coach, Christina Mendoza, KJ posing on Instagram. Amazing Olympian athlete. You and I were just oohing and on about her from your stories today. So yeah, I think with Coach D on my side, Christina on my side, and my own just hard all or nothing work ethic, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful to earn that card this year. But yeah, so I'll be solidly NPC until I get there.
Yeah, and that's the KJ is her husband Joey. I remember a friend of mine. He was at a show. Joey's really, really proud of his wife. He's very vocal. A couple of guys I know. We
Like
a
the
friend,
trophy
yeah,
wife of the century.
a couple of guys I know. They were at the year when she was at the Rising Phoenix. He said Joey was really loud. Another friend of mine was she said Tampa last year. He was really loud. I mean,
He better.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. That you ever been to a show with her yet, or you
I
just
haven't
heard
seen her
from?
on stage yet, no, but that's a dream. That's definitely on the short list.
She does has a great physique. She's top 5 in the world in women's bodybuilding. I know she hate to miss out. Was the year before because she was doing it with some issues. Fan of her physique. I think she's a great physique, very feminine, great look to her. I
Yes.
posted comment stuff on my social media. She's responded sometimes. I mean, I think she has a great look, very feminine. She's one person who I'm a fan of, and I'm always gonna be a fan
Yeah.
of hers.
Yeah,
And
and in terms of her coaching style, like I mean, I crossed over figure and physique in 2023, and I had Autumn Cleveland as my figure coach up until I moved to women's physique, and then I kind of like had to do a little bit of searching and like really looking at whose styles did I like, other competitors who had coached with them, getting their feedback, and landed with Christina. And the beautiful thing about working with her, so she's in bodybuilding, I'm in physique, and but she has this like absolute commitment to finding the most aesthetically pleasing and personality revealing coaching style. So it's like, yes, I'll send her like pictures of competitors or routines and stuff, and I'm like, I really like this and I really like that, and it always comes down to, let's try it. Let's see if it looks good on your body with your angles, your proportions, your density. Like, she's really taking everything into account. And in the end, she respects, like because my confidence on stage is going to be the make or break of like how I do, because energy matters. I know that might sound woo woo, but as a therapist, I get to tell you that the way that you feel is felt by the people around you. And that can be scientifically measured up to 10 feet outside your body, because your nervous system is vibrating all of the water in your body, and that is changing what's happening around you. So even though the coaches are the judges are far away at their table, you resonating in the energy of like, I fucking own this. And the posing and the style and the transitions and just what you're bringing. I love that Christina is just a fierce advocate for, send me everything that you like. And then we put it on you and you move through it and you feel into it. And ultimately, if it all comes together, then let's do that. So she's not like a cookie cutter that's like, here's my little repertoire of positions that I want you to do, or that I think are good, and everything else is just whatever. She's very creative and very respectful like that.
Yeah, I think she's pretty good. 'Cause I know she's working with Hunter Henderson. I think she was working with Susan Graham a while back. I think she also, I remember she was like a couple of years when she was at the Rising Phoenix. She won the Best Poser Award. It was her. A lady who was a friend of mine, Janine Lukowski. She's one of the really good posers. There's the real Lois Lane, Rachel Daniels. She's very popular. Yes. One guy they really worked with. I just interviewed a young lady. Her name is Robbie Carlson, and she's a young up and comer. She has a great physique, great look to her. And I think one person they talk about is also Kai Green. That's the one person they really say that really inspires them. But I would say one of my favorite persons of all time in the sport with bodybuilding is, I can't help myself, Doc. It's Andrea Shaw.
Oh yeah, big fan.
She's just so beautiful. I love pulling this out because other guy says, if you do something for free, always get paid for it. So, and this is a friend of mine was at the Olympia back in 2020. She got this issue. And this is what motivates me as a content creator, especially when the champ does this.
Yeah. And she's a real person, right? Like, she really, you can tell from everything that she puts out. And even when she's on stage, like just the genuineness of her smiles, the way that she comes into her poses, and you just can see she's confident, but she's humble. She's not wearing a mask. She's really bringing her true self there, and it's kind and it's warm and it's genuine. That's so attractive.
Like she what's going on? Oh, yeah, she is just yeah. It was issues. I need to get a new computer. I had this one for a while. My sister gave it to me. So she has a great look to her. All these ladies are beautiful. I'm a fan. I mean, I've been following bodybuilding for a long time, and I'll admit my crime. I am a muscle person. I just find y'all ladies just so scintillating and irritating. I just but I'm really doing this content. Reach out to you ladies. I get to know what makes y'all click, what makes y'all live in such a, as I said again, most people say it's very masculine sport. We have here content. We have here a new follower here. Shout out to, this is my man here, Baby Terror Child. He says, interesting topic. Thank you, brother. Also, he says his name is Chris Jordan here. Love you, Sierra. So
Oh,
this is a
Jim
friend of
Poppy
yours?
Chris. Oh my God. Yes. Jim Poppy Chris is a power lifter, probably going to cross over to bodybuilding someday. But he is making big waves and changes in the lives of women in Santa Barbara, but all over the place because of his online coaching. I mean, y'all just got to go check him out. Jim Poppy Chris on Instagram. Love that man. Just a genuine heart to serve, knows his stuff. And he and I align. We've done a couple of lives together because he and I really align on this idea of women's empowerment from the ground up. You mentioned something earlier that kind of sticks with this too, when you were talking about women bodybuilders and children who have children, and just kind of like, or families, and what it's like in this particular sport versus like a football or a tennis or any of those other kind of sports, because there is a stigma around sort of the perception of vanity that comes with bodybuilding. And yes, we can be annoying when we're in the gym and we finish a set and we're like popping our delts between every set, or we're checking our bicep between every set, and it looks like we're just worshiping ourselves, but really we're just trying to see the activation, right? But in the sense of like women's empowerment, meaning taking up all of our space, women taking up space in the gym, on the floor, where the weights are. You know, that's one of the things that I really appreciate about Chris's work with women, is like he's getting them in there under the barbell. He's getting them in there doing heavy powerlifting style lifting. He is changing bodies and changing mindsets through that work. And I know for me, as the mother of boys, it was really hard for my sons when I started bodybuilding. One of them is a basketball guy. He's been a baller since he was a little thing, and he was the first person outside of my coach and maybe like two friends at the gym who I told, "Hey, I think I'm gonna do bodybuilding, but you got to keep it a secret." Because I knew there was the stigma around it. And he was like, "Totally support you, mom. Love you. Go get it." Okay, now I'm going and getting it. I'm training hard. I dress for the job that I want. So I'm coming in with my bombshell fitness and my violate the dress code, and I am cute and I am fierce, and I want to embody the empowerment that bodybuilding is for me. And then over time, you know, as you start to compete and your sons, this is my experience. I don't know if other women have had this experience, but it can be uncomfortable, you know, especially if they're in a more conservative lifestyle, which my boys are. You know, to have your mom, you know, 6 feet tall on hooker heels on a stage in a tiny sparkly bikini, flexing her everything in front of an audience of hundreds of people, to be judged and to be evaluated and to want to win based on that aesthetic. And I will say that my boys and I, you know, had a couple of bumpy years as I moved into this sport. I don't think they even like follow a lot of my content on Instagram because, you know, I'm almost 50, you know, and I'm single. So it's like, what are you doing, mom? Who are you? What are you becoming? And it's like, well, my goal is to become the very best version of myself from the ground up, feet on the ground, pushing heavy weight, building the actual substance of my body, watching how it's building this mindset of, if I can lift this heavy weight, I can do anything, right? Like, so the heaviness of the weight becomes like this analogy for the heaviness of life. If I can change my body, then I can change my relationships. If I can set boundaries around the time that I am going to spend in the gym, and nobody gets that time but me, I can set healthier boundaries with all sorts of people in my life. If I can succeed at this, I can succeed in my business. If I can learn to love myself and prioritize myself, I might be allowed in my own mind to do that in areas of my life where I have been giving my power away. So, you know, the impact that bodybuilding as a sport can have on us as people trying to become the best versions of ourselves in the context that we find ourselves, whether it's in motherhood or in business or in education or in spirituality, your relationship to anything power greater than yourself, and what you're allowed to do and how you're allowed to live your life. Like, it is a much bigger conversation than just how much PR, like what's your PR on this or that or other thing.
Yeah, because I think, like I said, I grew up with, you know, three sisters, me, my brothers. my niece and nephews coming from a big family. My mom had to raise them. My parents were together for 55 years, even though my dad was living in New Jersey and we're still here in North Carolina.
Mhm.
And especially for a boy's best friend is his mother. You are the first women we love. Girlfriends and wives go away. Like I said, my mom's been gone for almost 5 years, and I miss her.
Mine
You know,
too.
and I know it's tough. Because I understand the stripper here. I used to work at a strip club, and guys be excited to see you guys in the heels, but then you got to think about it. These are your boys, and the
Yeah.
last thing you want to do is they go to a show, and you there to support your mom. She comes out in a sparkly bikini. She's all
Yeah.
buffed out, shiny and
Yeah.
vascular. You got guys in the audience says, "Who's that tall
Yeah.
drink of water there?"
Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta tell you,
who's that?
like my boys haven't been to a show. My daughters have been. Two of my daughters have been. One would probably come, but she goes to school out of state. But my eldest daughter and my youngest daughter have been to shows, and I was so grateful for that because they got to see me taking up that space and like expanding into like full ownership of my body. I don't know if the guys listening can understand this because of, like what you said earlier, you guys make your contribution to the process of having children, but then we let our bodies get taken over by a process of bringing life from from nothing, right? Like here we are, like not having, I'm not pregnant right now, but in that process, like something coming to being from nothing, we let our bodies be completely consumed by that. Our bone marrow, our blood cells, everything used to construct this person, then we birth them. And now this like piece of us is walking around in the world, like having a life and thoughts and whatever of its own accord. And we have this process of like, yes, we are bonded to them in such a way that we feel this like need to, I don't know, maybe this is just for me, but like there has been a part of this where it's like I've wanted to or needed to conform to my children's expectations of me because they're a part of me. And so that process of taking that power back and saying, no, I loaned my body to the birthing of 5 children, but it belongs to me. And I'm allowed to decide if I want to build muscle. I'm allowed to decide if I want breast implants. That was another big, big issue. Like my kids were like, who are you? Like nature freak therapist lady? Like, what are you doing? And it was like, well, it's my body. I won't be nursing any more babies. And bodybuilders, we go down to like what, 6%, 3% body fat. There's nothing left. So, it's like, this is mine. This is my vehicle for this incarnation. I get to do with it what I want. And maybe it took me until I was 50 years old to decide that. Better late than never.
Yeah, that's the thing is that this is the purpose of men. Our purpose is to breed, battle, and to die. That's it. Like Conan.
How about provide? Can we put provide in there?
That's in there too. But like Conan, you crush your enemies, see them doing it for you, and he the lamentation of the women. But this is the thing is with young women, especially with sport like bodybuilding, you're taking and changing the aspects what's considered feminine. You're building muscle, which is not often people see. Women, you have muscles. You have a stronger lower center of gravity compared to men because in the legs like that. It's just something different. And that's the thing about society. Women supposed to be the nurturer. You're supposed to be soft, supposed to be feminine. Yes, I know some ladies who get breast implants. I'm not a big fan of breast implants, depending on how you get them, because I know it makes you more feminine looking. Especially in the standard, especially for the bodybuilding. We had appreciation, your body, your look, your development.
Right.
But that's the tough part. That I think instead of go back to your sons, I know they want to go, but someday they got to do it because this is their mom. They want to support you. But I feel you're afraid of maybe fighting some guys in the audience and saying something about their mom. But yeah, it's a tough thing about this, folks. While we have Sierra here, we're going to jump to her social media for a little bit. We want to follow her. The link of her links are in the live of this video. Also, as you know, she's a therapist. So if you want to check her out, this is her. Let's say she's Jim Rat 2 805 35 335 1915. So if you are someone who's just maybe needing help with family issues or just something like that, you want to talk to her, there is her. You can text her here, and that's the number that you want to text to. So you want to check her out. So folks, we're gonna do this. We're gonna jump into Sierra so maybe in a minute. So one thing, guys, I do this as a disclaimer because it's just no offense to you, but disclaimer, guys. No D pics. Stop it. I know she's a tall drinking water. I know you guys out there. I know you guys. I'm one of you guys, but I'm not form, Sierra. I'm just sometimes a little bit more calm with my perceptivity. But you gotta understand, this is a lady. She had time to talk with me. She got kids. She got still a baby at home. Be respectful. You know, guys, I know you guys get excited with these ladies, you know, but hey, you get more with a silk glove than Iron Fist. I know what you're doing with that Iron Fist.